This is Karen Dirksen, and this is my Assignment 3 Pechakucha for PIDP 3240. Today I'll be talking to you about supporting adult trauma survivors in the classroom. Supporting an adult trauma survivor can be accomplished when an instructor embraces trauma-informed teaching practices. There are many opportunities for educators to acquire these skills with community-based workshops, webinars, websites, and there are a multitude of blogs that have been written on this topic. The fundamental premise of this practice is offering compassion and understanding to the common triggers for many students. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do is identify all of the people in your classroom who have ever experienced trauma in their lives. All right, that was a trick because you really can't. The only thing that you can do is assume that there are people in your classroom who have experienced violence, poverty, natural disaster, or some kind of a loss. The 1995 Adverse Childhood Experiences Study was originally done to measure the correlation between adverse childhood experiences and specific health issues. What they didn't know at the time was that that would end up telling the world so much more. One of the accidental findings from this study was the long-term effects that the adverse experiences had on learning and education. When I look at this person in this figure, I think about the anxiety they are experiencing and wonder if this person is in my classroom, are they actually getting any learning done? As an educator, it is beneficial to have an understanding of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If we have learners in our classrooms that are struggling with the basic needs of emotional safety, we can help to promote that within our classroom or with our relationship with those students. Trauma can create fragmentation and scattering of thoughts, and this makes it really hard for people that have been triggered to focus. Knowing this really helps us understand why PTSD and ADHD are quite often misdiagnosed. Understanding the difference between learning brain and survival brain is really important when it comes to trauma-informed practice. Students with learning brain will be more excited. They won't be as worried about taking risks or making mistakes, where survival brain students think in black and white terms. They do not want to make mistakes and they do not want to stand out in class. Similar to ADHD students in a classroom, a trauma survivor student has the same capabilities as any average student in the classroom. It just may take them more effort and possibly more time to complete an assignment or a task. As educators, we have the ability to support all of the students in our classroom. Although it is not our role to be a counselor, we can do many things to minimize their stress and maximize their successes. The following are going to be some of those things. First, one of the things that we can do in our classrooms is create rapport. We can create rapport between us as the educator, also by creating communication between the students themselves. This can create a community. To help students with anxiety or focus challenges, we can minimize stimulation. Within a classroom setting, we can pay attention to how many posters we have on the wall or the distracting sounds within the classroom. And in an online setting, we can look at the clutter we have on our discussion boards. Offering overabundant predictability for those survival brain students in our class is one of the key things that we can do to help them. They really have a hard time with ambiguity. So having consistent schedules and classroom routines and offering clear assignment direction is really helpful for them. Promoting effective study habits is a key component to helping these learners on their road to success. We can help them to prioritize their assignments within a planner or possibly direct them to a website such as Quizlet in order to organize the information that they are learning within our class. Mindfulness practices can be beneficial to all of the learners in a classroom. Starting a class with a breathing practice can allow learners the time to transition from their hectic home life or the travel on the way to the classroom. I've also seen this done in online synchronous classes as well. By allowing learners to choose from a variety of assignments, a teacher is giving those students the ability to determine the risk level that they feel comfortable with. In fact, most adult learners will find more motivation when educators use this practice. These students will likely need more time to process information and a relaxed environment to do it in than the average student. This highlights the benefits of online or at-home learning, and it also highlights the potential of devastation of a timed in-class Kahoot. Using scaffolding to build capacity is going to help any learner, but in this case, skill building is essential to promoting confidence and springboarding their motivation, which will in turn make success even more likely in future assignments. Carol Dweck is a professor of psychology at Stanford University, and through many studies, she has identified two opposing beliefs about intelligence, talent, and abilities. She calls these beliefs a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, and states that people are on a spectrum depending on the subject they are learning. An educator can help students shift to a growth mindset by first recognizing their current mindset and where they are on the spectrum. Then, using language to encourage growth. Carol believes in the power of the word yet. Stress that students experience is real and often contagious to educators. It is important that everyone involved is taking care of their own mental health concerns, and educators can provide stability and support for students who have gone through trauma within their classroom. However, it is vital to ensure that they are aware of their own triggers as well. These are the references that were used within this PechaKucha. Thank you for listening and watching.